But there's a reason why I only date South Syrians, you know.
Cause angifuni sesiyabona
Babana. Umuntu sekathi ungibizzi Kwerekwere, kubeni bekangithanda. You know, I don't want that. I don't want to go to that trauma again because I've gone through it. I've dated this South African lady. We were good. We were nice. And then we fought. You know, long story short, we fought. And then she called me something worse than a Kwerekwere, bro. You know, can you imagine what's worse than a Kwerekwere? Imagine what's worse than the word Kwerekwere. She called me a cucumber, bro. She called me a cucumber. And I was like, I couldn't comprehend. You know, I was so baffled. And then it's Cheruti, you know what? As a fool, for an date cucumber. I'm just doing Niger girl. I'm not feeling this Niger girl. I mean, she whine me, don't kill me raw. Niger babe's fine, raw. I'm on there, walk on. But, tell me, see, still, they would tell me, see, me be like, see, I be South guy, do like South.
You know, in the midst of all the storm, in the midst of everything that's happening, I only pity for one person. I only pity for like the person that was born in Soweto.
They don't know their father, and their mother never told them that their father was probably a foreign national or a foreigner. You know,
But I know you guys are gonna say, some people are gonna say they don't exist. Trust me, they do exist. They are plenty.
they are plenty. Baninga cool. Cause sometimes they say go like so to the thing, I would think say, the government might not think every household should do a compulsory DNA test. Oh, some people were shocked. Why was it true? That was it only the taller that you don't basically come back and they campus. That's the only person I pity for around like.
But nonetheless, get my Algerian t-shirts. As you can see, peace is Algerian is here. Everywhere I am, there's supposed to be peace. When it's Algerian is there, just know there's peace. That is Algerian. I represent peace among animosity. So
It made me really, really sad. It's heartbreaking that you'd be called a slur in your own relationship, but part of me is also not too surprised because of the way South Africans fetishize Nigerians. I'm very proud of my people and my country and all our cultures, ne? But the one sore point I have, the one part that always embarrasses me is this obsession with Nigerians. It's borderline pathological at this point from like both sides, male and female South Africans. And I wish I could scream. And before you say, nah, boy, they obsessed with us too, they fetishize us too, shh, shh, shh. I'm gonna deal with my people because I don't know Nigerians, but I know y'all, and y'all are obsessed. And last time when I said that South African men have a cuck-like obsession with Nigerian men, they jumped down my throat like I was wrong, and I know I'm not wrong still. Like, I know I wasn't wrong because the obsession that South African men have with Nigerian men is the same obsession that white men have with black men and their BBCs. It's the same thing. You guys are just so obsessed with their sex lives, which is so strange to me. And then the girls have this thing of actively seeking out Nigerian men, dating them, based on the stereotypes around them being providers, even sexual stereotypes as well. Will do that and still be xenophobic, have xenophobic sentiments that they can pull up on those partners if they step out of line. And that's so gross and exploitative and just weird. I don't even like those deportation jokes. I think it's just disgusting. Like, you're a disgusting person if you think that way, because what you're doing is the equivalent of if a white man was dating you, and that person calls you the K word or the N word. Like, you guys are weirdos. And for people that are so big on Ubuntu and respect for others, you guys have this weird thing in your relationships where umlowen involves just completely degrading each other and swearing at each other. And I just don't understand that. Like, I'm so thankful to have never had such an experience, Dibona Guni, and it shocks me still. Like, what are you guys doing? If you love and care for someone, even if you just like them, you should treat them like that. Like, even when they upset you, it should still show that you love them. Like, it should still show that you care for them even when you're upset with them. Like, I don't understand like, I just don't get it, because it pains me to tell my romantic partner that they are doing something wrong or to be critical of them. If you've done me wrong, it pains me to come to you and complain and criticize you. So the way that I do that in an argument is to make sure still that my love shows through my criticism of you. And most of the time, all of the time actually, it's been reciprocated that way. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I wish people would maintain that respect culture that we have for those that are close to them, because it's really vile. It's really vile that you call someone a slur while arguing with them. Like, that's insane. So yeah, guys, in here, can buy funny man. Just stop. Like, stop.
Okay, I don't really date foreign guys. Okay, here I'm lying now. Okay, it does happen that I do unconsciously prefer dating foreign guys. I don't really group myself as someone who'd say I'm dating Nigerians. I don't really date Nigerians. Do I? Maybe I did. I wasn't aware that that person is Nigerian. Maybe I have my own beliefs, but even at that, I wouldn't go to that extreme length and call somebody Kwerekwere or a Grimgaba. That's like she said, that's like calling someone a N word or the K word just because you guys are fighting as partners. This is why sometimes I do struggle with interracial relationships, because I've been with white men, not these ones in South Africa, but abroad white people. So I know on a subconscious level I do struggle with white people and their behavior. So I know that I would never want to procreate with a white man, number one. I don't want to have interracial kids. I do not like it. Maybe it's because of the stigma around interracial relationships and how they are romanticized, and how nobody talks about what white men do to these people who are in relationships with them. This goes for what black men in relationships with white women. They never get to talk about that. They are in La La Land. They never really talk about the experience they go through as interracial people on a day-to-day basis, and what are their struggles. Same that goes to intercultural relationships. I come from a Zulu father and a Bedi mother, and it's the blend that comes with teaching the children the language, teaching the children how to evolve, being a intercultural child. How do you navigate life? How do you uphold yourself? How do you move about life as an intercultural child, I mean to say. And how do you carry yourself as that person? Fortunately for me, my father was doing an amazing job. And not that to say that, you know, Betty and Zulu people do get along. They don't. We are culturally once, tribalism as they call it. So I wouldn't say it's tribalism, but that's the best way that I could think about it. So it's just that people want to be in their own group and then marry within their own cultures and old traditions, and without them intertwining. So now you're a Brady woman marrying a Zulu man, and now your cultures are like this. So now the culture forces you as a woman to adapt and evolve yourself around your husband and stuff like that. So my father died when I was very young, so I moved from my father's area to live in my mother's area for my own mental health reasons. So you constantly have to literally just evolve and love yourself despite whatever anybody is saying. So I don't know, guys. Just that's my 2 cents. Just add your comments and what you think about this whole thing. Because yeah, that's how I see it. That's how I feel about this whole thing.